Good morning and welcome back to Rugged Mountain Homestead. My name is Sarah and today is going to be another hot one. So let's go ahead and head down to the garden and see all the changes that have taken place over the past week. Well, walking down to the garden, I almost stepped on this guy. So let me pause here and get my brave husband because this is a little out of my realm.
So you're gonna have to keep them up here no matter where I go, because they'll follow me.
The dogs?
I think I can do this.
Oh, see, that's why I didn't want to move that rock pile. Ugh. Gosh. Oh, God. Ah! Okay, nothing like a little morning excitement to get the blood pumping. That's a reality out here, and actually that's a good sign. That is a bull snake. It's not venomous. They will take care of rodents, and he probably came on my garden. Which also leads me to believe I'm doing something right if wild things are finding themselves at home. However, I do not want him making his home where I can see him. So thankfully, Dean is brave enough to catch them and he will relocate them. I just have problems with the creepy crawly things, snakes, mice. Anyway, I just brought the dogs inside because they will go after it. It's a game and I don't want any of them to get bitten. So they'll be in here to take a rest. Dean's taking care of that. And I'm gonna go check on the chickens, make sure they're still okay. We'll get to the garden soon. Good job.
I'm just gonna take them out in the woods. I don't want to kill them.
No, of course not. Not if you, as long as we don't have to.
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm trying to help you. Okay?
All right, just keep him out of your face.
All right. Well, where are the dogs?
Inside.
All right, I'm gonna go take a walk way down.
Good.
Actually, out that way.
So happy to have him on the homestead. Well, the chickens are fine and all accounted for, and that's going to become a real threat once they start laying eggs. But I just wanted to check, even though I don't expect a snake to eat them, who knows, I just wanted to check and make sure that there was nothing in there with them. So, without further ado, things seem to be calming down. Now, a subscriber had asked how I'm actually watering all of this. So before we go down to the garden, let me show you how this is being done. We have a little system rigged up. It's not the final system, but it's working, and I'm grateful. Okay, we have 2 IBC containers on the back of our trailer so that when they are empty, we can just hook the trailer up to the truck and go get more water. Each of these containers holds 260 gallons of water. So as you can see, I am at the halfway point of the second IBC container. I get 5 days out of each one, so that's pretty good. So then what Dean did is he has an adapter on here hooked up to a non-collapsible hose. And if we follow that around, we use that as sun cover so that the pump doesn't bake in the sun. And so this hose hooks up to the pump, as does the non-collapsible hose. The water feeds through all of that. This pump provides the pressure, and it is electric, so it gets plugged into the travel trailer, and then we let it come to pressure. And then we have this white hose, and it goes all the way down to the garden. So now the hose that you see on the ground here
that is continual from the IBC containers. And we just have a regular spray shower nozzle on here, and I just spray the garden like anyone else would.
Granted, this is not the most sophisticated of ways, but it works. And we will be doing an irrigation system later, but we have enough on our plate right now, and this is working, so I'm happy. Before Dean had this hooked up, I was using my little wagon over here, and I was loading up 6 5-gallon buckets, and I was bringing them down here. Now I was making 4 trips because each bed to water it is about 40 gallons of water, and then I have these little containers, so it's about 4 trips. And by the time I was done hauling it down here, watering, going back, you know, all that kind of stuff, I was just using the outside faucet from the house. My back was breaking. It took a long time. It took me over, gosh, probably close to 2 hours to water the garden. So I'm grateful. But let's go ahead and take a look at the garden this week.
It has been exactly 1 week since the garden reveal. You see the okra, they are getting their first true leaves. And then we have the sunflower that has popped up here. Some more okra. And then I had tucked in some yarrow. This is the cucumber from last week, and my gourds. The leaves on the gourds are so pretty. They're really variegated, and they just have this different shape to them. Really pretty. And then I have a Bonnie Best tomato here. The onions are looking gorgeous. They're nice and thick. Lots of parsley here. Some celery that's coming back to life. You can see. You can see the pink on the stalk. All of these here are the peppers. They are a variety of jalapenos, Anaheims, 2 Edvarski, which are roasting peppers. There's 23 in this bed. The cowpeas, there's 1 on either side. The other one sprouted up as well, but I pulled it out because I was only wanting 1 on each side. Look at that Lakota squash. It is just beautiful. The calendula, it is so bright out here. I'm really trying hard to stay out of the way. The calendula, and this here I'm considering is sacrificial collard green. It has been growing, but something is eating on it. And the other ones don't seem to be bothered too bad. So I'm going to just let the bugs have this one. But they have really popped up, as have the beets and the carrots. Look at this one here. Beautiful. Down in this container, I planted the 2 watermelon seedlings, and they can ramble out each side. That's why I placed 1 on this edge and 1 on the other. Last week, none of the green beans were up. This week, 25 have popped up, and they just make me so happy. All of this growth makes me so happy. Look at this one here. marigolds are getting larger, getting taller. This one here, getting taller. And we actually have one on the very end trying to put on a bloom. Here's the winter delicata squash growing. The oregano's looking nice over here. And the tomatoes are even coming along. These are the first 3 that I planted. They were my test, and I showed those last week, but this is the growth on them. And then, of course, the others, like I said, I planted staggeredly so I could get more in there. And they're looking good. I'm happy. The far end of the bed, we have Swiss chard. It is just gorgeous. And we have harvested Swiss chard twice now. And it looks like I will be doing so again this evening. The color is coming out on this one as well, even though it's still small. This little stick is sticking up because I've planted a cabbage seed. And by the time that it comes up and actually starts growing, the Swiss chard and the radishes will be finished, so that it'll have all that space, and it probably won't be ready until the end of September. These radishes are just doing great. Some of them you can see their shoulders. I also check doing this way, just taking my fingers and moving out to see how large they are or how small they are. Let me know if they're ready to be harvested. This one actually is fine. Yeah. These are purple plum radishes. They are good. They are not quite as spicy as the cherry bomb, the real red ones. And that's exactly what I wanted, because I don't like the real spicy at all. And Dean likes them all. So we have harvested out of here twice as well. Also, a radish is edible from the leaves all the way down to the stems. Right now, I've been giving a couple leaves to the chickens, and they've been running around playing with them, and they eat them, but they kind of tease each other first. And then a lot of the times I will take the radish leaves and the root here, I will dehydrate them, and then I blend them up with other greens into what I call a greens powder, and then I just throw it in sauce or soup or whatever I want to add a little bit of extra nutrition. Yep, I think I see another one. Yep. That one's not super purple, but that's okay. It was still ready. This is a good size. I don't want them getting real big because then they kind of get woody. It's not quite ready. See, it's showing its shoulders, but when I take both of my fingers, they don't spread apart real far. So I know that it has some more room to grow. As does this one. Okay. Over here we have the wild thyme. It's growing. The new lettuce hasn't popped up yet, but a couple of our Cherokee beans have. Our pumpkin is really making progress. All these beautiful leaves. as is the zucchini and the yellow squash. This oregano is really taken off too. Now you'll notice that the arugula is gone. The arugula just kept trying to bolt. It kept putting flowers on. It was starting to taste bitter, and so it just wasn't worth it. So I pulled it up and I put down cilantro seeds in its place. And then here's the lettuce. We have harvested off of this several times. It is delicious. We've had lettuce in our wraps, lettuce, of course, you know, salads. It's just been wonderful. The dill's really coming along. I love dill. I love the smell of it. And our nasturtiums. I have another little Bonnie's Best in this pot. I had a couple extra laying around. I need to pull up this other kale. Well, it took care of that for me. And then I'm probably going to give this to the chickens. Mint is growing. Now the lavender, that long piece, I clipped it off and now it just seems to have really helped it. It is a dwarf variety, but there's a lot of new growth on it down in the bottom. And it smells heavenly. Lemon balm. I love the smell of it as well. And then of course we have our little herb spot here, and it seems to be doing well. Yarrow and calendula, lemon balm, feverfew, yarrow, oregano.
So friends, that is the week 2 garden tour. I've seen a lot of progress this past week, so I can't wait to see what the next week holds. And coming up on our next video will be the next chicken update. And you are going to be shocked by what I show you in that video. So thank you for joining me up on Rugged Mountain Homestead. We're always so glad when you do. I look forward to seeing you on the next one, and until then, take care.